This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, today we will go ahead and see how to do SMS integration in Pega. So if you want to do SMS integration, so you must have to have one service provider who is going to give you a service of sending SMS from their application. So that is an API vendor. So here you can use any of the API vendors like Fast SMS, Way to SMS, and there are many other different API vendors. So first thing what you have to do is you have to create an account with one of the API vendors that they are going to that are available, like Fast SMS, or it can be like other SMS vendors like Way to SMS. So we need to get the API key details from the vendor, and then we have to create all the required rules in Pega. It can be data transforms, user interfaces, flows, flow actions, etc. And create the connect REST rule. So using this connect REST rule, we are going to connect to the API, and from PRPC, PRPC is going to interact with this fast SMS API, where it is going to use a REST architecture of integration. So for that, we need to create a connect REST tool. So the connect REST tool we can invoke from anywhere like activity or somewhere, wherever you want as per your business requirement. And here is the document of details where it is going to request for the parameters of authorization, sender ID message, route, language, numbers, flash. All this is going to, all these are the parameters which we need to pass to the fast SMS API using our connectors from our connectors tool, using our connectors tool. So the resource path for this one is, this is the resource path. So this resource path we are going to use whenever we are going to integrate with our this fast SMS API. So this will be given here in our connectors tool. So let's go ahead and after this you can go ahead and test it. Let's go ahead with the implementation now. So creating all of these required rules for this API integration. The first step what you need to do is you just go ahead and create an account in fast SMS with the details what you have, like email, use your email address, or you can go ahead and use your phone number. So first thing is you need to create an account in this one. Create an account. Fast to SMS. So after you create, so creation of account is very easy. You just go to fastsms.com, and there you are going to provide all your details for the registration. Once it is done, your account will be created. So then you have to get the documentation details. So the documentation details URL is given in our Word document. So here you go. These are the documentation details whenever you are requesting to send an SMS from your PRPC application by using this API of fast SMS to outside numbers. So then this is the details that you need, and here you go. So this is the URL, the endpoint URL that we need to use in order while connecting with this fast SMS API. So let's go ahead now, and the key value you have to get it from after you register. You need to go to dev API. When you go to dev API, here you should be seeing the key value. So this key value you have to go ahead and get and configure it in our application. So let's go ahead and create required rules for the same in our PRPC application. So where we are going to do integrate our application with this fast to SMS API. Pega Dev Studio. So here you go. Let me close all of this. So here you go. So I'm just going to create a new data transform to set all the parameters as of now. Okay, let's go ahead and create a data model for the same. Data. So this and all you already know how to create a data class, and then save this. completed. So next, let's go ahead and create properties. Let me log off. One data designer. So the properties which we need to create. So these are the properties: authorization, sender ID, so but okay, you can give any name, it's up to you, but make it the same name as the parameters, sender ID. And what else we have? Message, route, language. Numbers, flash. Okay, so these are the properties which I have created. Apart from this, so I'm going to get phone number, and this is already there. Message, it is, oh, I created a message, right? Okay, fine. So now go to worker class and create a page for the same. You can give any name, it's up to you, make it something meaningful. Message control, I'll take something different. Okay, how nice. So here property type single page, and the class is this one. Save, completed. So this is completed. I have created a page, and then I'm going to create section for the same. Section to accept phone number and some text message. That can be anything. Let's go ahead with. So data capture, text input, and the next one text area. Okay. Feedback to properties. Contact. Yep, done, completed. So this is how you will create a flow action. So after this, let's create a pre-processing, or you can create a post-processing. Up to you. Pre-processing data transform to set API properties. Let's go and set API properties by pre-processing data transform. Set API properties. So here you go, clipboard, create and open. So here dot SMS page dot authorization first. Let's go with the authorization. So authorization value. So you have to take it from your this one API key. Let me copy this. And I will move SMS page dot language English. SMS page dot. I can go to route. So you can see here the documentation for this. So you can see sender ID, FST, SMS, which is set, FST, SMS, and then the remaining parameters. Dot SMS page dot flash. I can set the flash to 0. Add one more. Dot SMS page dot message number. Message and number we are going to take it from UI. Authorization we have taken flash, language, route. So this route is going to be this one. P for promotional and T for transaction. So I'm not going to go ahead with any transaction. It's up to you. You can go ahead with transaction and promotional. It can be considered as even transactional SMS. You can just go ahead and use it. So these are the properties which I wanted to set. So now call this here. They have done. So this is what you're going to do. So next you are going to create REST connector. Let's create a REST connector. Connectors, connect REST. So you need to get the URL. This is the URL. It is very slow. Let's wait for a minute. So this is the URL which you have to provide. So after this, after you provide this URL, it is going to take the dev and bulk. All this by default you will get it. So map from key. So query string is not needed. So go to methods tab here. In the request of get, you just go and mention the details. So here you mention all the attributes. That is, I'll take from here from the notepad. Authorization, sender ID, message. Language, numbers, flash. So these are the details. Description also you can mention the same. And map from clipboard. So all of this we are going to map from clipboard. So map from key dot SMS page dot authorization, SMS page dot sender ID. So this is what we are going to configure here. Done, complete. So you just go ahead here and then save this. So this connector configuration has been done. So we are done in the get. Post is not okay, get and the service tab. This is the service tab. So nothing else is needed here in the service tab as of now. So we can just do a test connectivity and see once. So the response code not within 200 range. The connection to the server succeeded, but the response code initiated an issue 401. I think this is not a problem. It will be fine. So there will not be any issues. Authentication is not okay. That's not a big deal. Okay, let's go ahead now and work on calling this connector from somewhere. So let me create an activity, technical activity. Let's create a utility.
This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Due to some issue, I just made changes to my resource path URL here. So the URL which the latest version of this connector skill rule, where it is taking the resource path, I have removed that, and I have been using the older version of resource properties. The latest version looks like this, and the same rule form in the old version looks like this. So I'm using old version. I don't know the reason, but nothing I'm changing here. The old version format of the form I'm using here. And just let's now go ahead and run the flow to test it. So once what we have done overall, so we have created a screen to capture customer phone number and to capture some message details. And then we are calling an activity. So in the activity, I'm calling a connect rest rule. So this is a connect rest rule where we have resource path, and we have, these are the parameters which we are reading from the clipboard. These parameters we had set from data transform, which we are calling in the post processing of the flow action. So here you go, the flow action, and then actions, pre-processing, I'm sorry, pre-processing of the flow action. I had set all those. So let's go ahead now and run the flow. So when this flow is executed, we should be able to provide the number here. So the phone number. So, and here you go, message, Harsha Trainings.com something. So submit this, and this SMS should be sent to the phone number which has been given there. So let's wait for the SMS. So since I got the SMS message from past SMS, which I can show you here, just hang on. So I just emailed that. So let's go ahead now and see here in the mailbox. Why it is taking this much time? Got stuck in my outbox. It got queued. I don't know. Okay, I can show you this. Harsha Pega one. It got stuck in outbox. All mail. Not able to- it's outbox out. Where is the photo? Okay, for some reason the email is not being sent, which I have taken a photo.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, I send it to this email. So here you can see the SMS which I have received. So this is how you should receive an SMS. This is how we can go ahead and implement SMS integration in Pega. So by using REST, so we can wind up for today. Thank you for joining, everyone.